When you think of the inspiration behind the most majestic, intriguing, and powerful Pokemon, you would often imagine the gods and creatures of different pantheons and mythologies all over the world. However, when it comes to the smallest and most common of creatures, inspiration may come from the mundane and everyday, with the local folklore surrounding it. The Iberian Peninsula, from which Pokemon Scarlet and Violet take inspiration from, is rich in culture, folktales, and somehow, cuisine.
Wait, what? What does this have to do with Pokemon?
Yep, well, it appears as though our first encounters in the wild may be quite filling. From a suckling pig to the oil used to cook it, it looks like we're starting our adventure with full stomachs. So hey, grab a snack while we take a look into the folkloric origins of the new Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. Let's start with a fan favorite, Lechonk. It doesn't take a lot to figure out that this hog Pokemon is named after Lechon, which is a small pig in Spanish, or in Filipino, it's this delicious food that I cannot get enough of every time I visit. And chunky, which he absolutely is. According to the official website, this normal-type piggy has an incredible sense of smell, which it uses to find and eat only the most fragrant wild grasses and richest berries. And, well, it's because of this that apparently it radiates an aroma similar to the herbs it eats, so it practically seasons itself. Hunger aside, the Iberian Peninsula has its own traditional breed of domestic pig, and is named the Black Iberian Pig. They tend to be black, with long floppy ears, a low, long snout, and black hooves. Another type of pig found in Spain are truffle hogs, those pigs that are used to sniff out those fancy truffle mushrooms. While we couldn't find much in regards to the folkloric aspect within Spain, France, or even just the Iberian Peninsula in general, we did find a lot of delicious recipes that we might just try out. And we also found one lead on an island that Spain had history with. The Philippines has no shortage of creatures and monsters that haunt the nightmares of the locals, one of which is a large black vampiric boar that is said to stalk infants, children, pregnant ladies, the elderly, and the sickly, and is also known to feast on them. The creature's name? The Aswang.
But wait, isn't the Aswang a humanoid vampire thing? I mean, we did a whole video on this a while back.
Well, as you and a lot of longtime viewers may recall, the Aswang is also a shapeshifter, known to take the form of different animals, specifically large black dogs, large black birds, or even large black boars. In some regions, they use garlic, spices, and herbs to ward away these creatures alongside Christian and pagan paraphernalia. The Philippines is also known to use the word lechon, which is a large suckling pig that is often brought out for festivals such as the Lechon Festival in Cebu, which happens every 24th of June. Adding another connection to our little chonky boy here. With all these in mind, it's easy to see the inspiration for Lechonk's basic design and concept, from sharing physical characteristics with the Iberian pig, and even the strong sense of smell, similar to the truffle hog. However, what about that Aswang? Perhaps this link may hint at a possible dark-type evolution in this little piggy's future. Adding in the fact that this guy would probably be a popular hunt for a meal, this hog could possibly evolve to be more aggressive than its shyer previous evolution as a means to survive. If we keep the idea that garlic, spices, and herbs are used to ward Aswang away, the very thing that Lechonk was known to eat back in its chunky days, it's possible it would evolve into a dark ghost type, with this new evolution being the result of Lechonk wanting revenge on the people who ate it. A rather dark turn into what was initially an adorable first form. I mean, I can't imagine this dude would want to turn into a Fiesta dish in the first place, but I can imagine it being absolutely delicious. Moving on to the next cute baby in the new lineup of Pokemon, we have Smoliv, who's, you guessed it, a small olive with a little dash of anxiety.
Just like little old me.
Okay. It's supposed to store this incredibly bitter and astringent oil in the fruit atop its head body thing?
Just like the bitterness that lurks within my heart.
Alright. As a way to attack opponents, slowing it down to run away. You have to wonder how often chefs use this poor guy's defense mechanism to their advantage. Although I can't guarantee that it would go that long without being eaten.
Just like my soul.
Now, Pokemon is no stranger to making little fruit and berry Pokemon, but why an olive? Well, Spain is well known for its olives, being one of the main producers of the stuff. Olives themselves have a number of mythologies, folktales, and stories from well beyond even the Iberian Peninsula. However, keeping our research a little closer to the region's roots, we can look at the Mediterranean, and more specifically, Greece. The olive tree is known to be sacred to the goddess of wisdom, Athena, after she gifted the olive tree to the now named city of Athens. Outside of Greek mythos, we can also look into the more biblical meaning behind the tree. Since Spain is known to be a majorly Catholic country, it was an olive tree branch that a dove brought to Noah after the flood, as a signal that the disaster was over. It was in a garden of olive trees that Jesus prayed in on his final night. Even olive oil was significant, as it was used as holy anointing oil by Moses. And thus olives, olive trees, and olive branches were always a symbol of peace and reconciliation.
Grandpa Z also said it was very healthy. That's why he puts it in everything he makes. Everything.
You know what else is healthy? Liking the video and sharing in the comments below what Smoliv oil recipe you might have. So it's clear to see that olives are important both practically and culturally, so it's no surprise that Smoliv's oil fruit hat is a distinct feature of its design and concept. Even its need to stay in a particularly sunny and dry climate is shared between the fruit and the Pokemon. However, given how much folklore lies behind the olive, would that mean there's more to this fruit than meets the eye? Perhaps its evolution would grow to be more complex. It would be nice to see this Pokemon evolve into what could be the first fairy poison type. Olive oil on its own is very bitter, but if you distill the oil to its usable states, it can be used in a lot of medicines and dishes. Rather, it has a lot of practical uses, so it would be interesting to see this become a rather misunderstood Pokemon. It doesn't particularly mean any harm, however, given its poison typing, it may be misunderstood as a Pokemon. And last but not least, our new Pika clone, Pommy. What many thought to be a bear, or was that just us, turned out to be a mouse Pokemon. Its name possibly derived from the words paw, of course, and Nezumi, which means mouse. But aside from that similarity, Pommy also has electric sacs in its cheeks, with the added bonus of having electricity discharging paws. It apparently generates electricity by rubbing its cheeks with its paws, which I think is just a ploy to make it look cuter.
Did it work?
I guess.
I mean, if you're dying by its cuteness, it is also a defibrillator.
Sure. Okay. Bulbapedia suggests some inspiration behind its design, in that it may be a type of chinchilla. These creatures are known to be round, with big round ears and big round eyes, as well as having an incredibly dense and soft fur. Unfortunately, they aren't even found in Spain, but they are found in South America, another place that Spain has had history with. There isn't much folklore or mythology I found that could possibly connect with Pawmi given this information, aside from sharing physical characteristics. So while it's difficult to find inspiration in Spain, we may have found a lead in an unlikely place. An old, previously scrapped Pokemon. While I initially disregarded the bear idea, Z told me about the Space World demo that included this guy called Honoguma. This Pokemon was supposed to be a fire starter from the Space World demo, but was eventually replaced by Cyndaquil in the final release of Gold and Silver. However, Pokemon is known to reuse concepts, as seen with Tortuga, which can be seen through its initial concept art from Gen 1 here. There's also Sirfetch'd, which was apparently the original evolution to Farfetch, and even Overclow. Although it's a fire bear Pokemon, there are a lot of similarities with its design that point to this being a possible rehashed Pokemon. Which brings up another old fellow that came into the limelight once again a couple years ago. From a fire starter, we also have this snub Pikachu evolution, Gorochu. It was only mentioned once in Red and Green, where if you trade over your Raichu to an NPC, he'll claim that it's evolved, still revealing no name. Since then, future games never thought to reference him again. Until, perhaps today. Haha. JK. Unless... Now as an orange and yellow electric mouse Pokemon shows up in the new Scarlet and Violet, could this be Gorochu's saving grace to bring him back?
Find out next time, only on Animal Planet.
It would be difficult to find folkloric origins to this Pokemon given the lack of information. However, we can find a hint in a leaked interview from 2018 with Atsuko Nishida, the creator of the Pikachu line. She described it as having fangs and horns, and looked like a god of thunder. She also said that this design would be less cutesy, in a way, and more cool, more dangerous looking. So perhaps Pommy's inclusion in the game may be how Pokemon decides to bring back, not one, but two, scrapped Pokemon. So, these are the 3 new Pokemon that have been introduced in the new trailer, alongside the possible origins of their design and concept, and some theories on their possible evolutions. Take these with a grain of salt, as we are working with the minimal information on the official website and Bulbapedia. But what do you guys think? Which Pokemon do you find most appetizing?
I don't think that was the point of the video.
Can you at least give me a slice?
No.
Well, thanks for watching. If you want to check out our other theories on the folkloric inspiration for the new legendaries, you can click right here.